Yo, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to Only the Realists. I hope that you guys have all had a wonderful day out there, and be mindful that this reading will not resonate with every single one of you. There are millions of energies on planet Earth. Without further ado, we're going to jump right in. This is going to be a life reading. And the first energies out here is the King of Swords with Ten of Cups. Alright, so there's a little bit of joy floating around, alright? But I see you here really deep in thought about what the next strategy is for forward movement, right? A lot of you guys are starting families. A lot of you guys are getting more into yourselves, right? Getting more into the healthier side of how you see life working out, life moving, right? There's a lot of, a lot of deep thought on life, right? And we have the Two of Swords, okay? With the Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. This crossroad here, okay? But this crossroad is not filled with doubt or misunderstanding, okay? There's a sense of, what's next here, right? It's upbeat. It's not this place where you're like, I'm here, but I'm indecisive of the road, right? At this time, we take off the blindfolds because we've already made the decision on, what the forward path is and what it means, right? Yeah, there we go. Ten of Pentacles with the Three of Wands. Yeah, you're waiting for your ships to come in. There's things around you that are accelerating, that are growing, right? That you see that create this this intensity within you, right? To grab a hold and take sail, right? Yeah, and what's keeping you in this progress is in the making of what's to come from what I'm creating here, right? Oh my goodness. Holy. Why is this happening to me today? Alright. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, right? Slow and steady wins the race. And also while doing that, right? Because, we cherish what we're creating. So we keep it tight, right? Keep it tight. Yeah. This, slow and steady is creating the momentum, right? Momentum can begin at any point, right? You can start now, you can start in 1 hour, you can start tomorrow, you can start next year, momentum starts when you start moving, right? It starts when you start moving. And that is exactly what is, you know, transpiring here. We have the Five of Swords with, okay, for those of you, you know, dealing with lovers out there, you know, there's something that has come to a pause, right? There's no, you know, there's no back and forth disagreements or, you know, what's going on, you know, why did this happen or things like that. This thing has been, you know, decompressed, right? But for my inner self people here, this is your decision, right? There's no fighting what it means to go forward, right? To create growth, understanding, happiness, to the extent of, you know, what makes you feel good in that present, and, you know, things like that, right? There is no forever happiness, guys, you know. But, you know, we can create that space of peace where, you know, it allows us to give our mind that peace where it says, this is my happiness, you know what I mean? Yeah, there we go. We have death with the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. All right. Yeah, this is a good time to make sure that this transformative energy, you know, allows you to see not only purpose, but to see, you know, what's that word? Resilience, right? Resilience, yeah. And, you know, you're going to have this opening of the emotion here, okay? Which will also allow some types of, you know, regrouping in yourself, right? To maximize growth within, you know, your transformation here. Ace of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. You have something, you know, which you are given the opportunity to expand, right? To expand that. Okay, we have the Empress with Four of Cups. Okay, yeah, there's abundance within future progress. Okay, we have the Four of Cups. This is that neglect of the emotions, right? When we are neglecting the emotion, we don't truly allow authentic understandings of things to come in, right? It allows us to see, you know, human parts of ourselves, right? You know, and we can easily, you know, discard, or not discard, you know, remove emotion, you know, being given to others. But in return, that only creates a cycle, which then you start understanding as that's life. That's the truth. When in reality, you're destroying yourself by thinking that your emotions don't matter, and why should they matter enough for me to give them out? You know, yeah, when people understand the reality of life and that you will get hurt in life and that you will hurt other people as well, um, it really damages a lot of people from what I've experienced and seen in my life, right? Um, so let's and it's not saying, hey, I'm gonna be this giver person. No, it's you know allow yourself to be open. You can tell when someone hasn't been open with their emotions, and let's say you show them a good time, right? For a day or something, right? You take them to the mountains, you take them fishing, you take them, on a nice walk, you take them, anything, to the movies, and you'll see the expression on that person's face when the day's done. And a lot of times you will get an emotional, like, conversation about something that maybe they've been keeping to themselves for maybe a very long time. And this helps to allow the person to, to rest themselves for that day, right? um, Emotions are not gone; they're just locked away for a lot of people. They lock them up, right? Throw away the key, and then it's hard to find the key, right? Um, there it is, Page of Wands. You need adventure in your life. You need, you know, um, exploration, right? I don't know if you guys are, people that go like, to the ocean and like do like, what do they call it? Um, Metal detecting, or like, cave diving, or haunted house, um, recording, just just little exciting things, right? I mean, even as, you know, um, I feel like people think that they mature enough to say that they can't have fun anymore. You know what I mean? I'm too mature to not to have a good time, to go out and do something I did when I was like a kid or a teenager. That's harmless, right? I mean, dude, I feel like a lot of people really push their experience of life to a very short period of time by just leaving it at that, right? We become so accustomed to, okay, we grew up, we do this, we do that, we get a job, and then we pay bills for the rest of our lives. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but you can do enjoyable things in that time too. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, complete isolation or solitude, or, those type of things that, keep your mind in a place of, um, you know, nothing can enter, you know. Everything here is fine. You know, nothing needs to be disturbed, right? And when I say disturbed, I mean life, right? Life brings things into our lives that we experience that we either may perceive as good or bad, you know. So on the other flip side, I agree with him, but I don't see that as something that would open a person up to, you know, to being expressive about their lives, accepting adventure and love and certain types of things that, you know, you get from specific people in your life, right? I mean, you can't get every single category of everything from, you know, a specific amount of people, but, you know, you can definitely, you know, do just do fun things in your life, right? Harmless fun things that remind you that you are alive, right? You are alive, and we have the world here with a completion. Yes, you need adventure in your life. Something that is going to, you know, bring your expression out. Yeah. We have the Queen of Wands, okay, with the Page of Swords. And this is where this is where your fun, you know, begins. And this is going to be like an explosion of an energetic feeling, right? An explosion. You're gonna feel like, you know, you can do, you know, let me do this, you know, let me do this, you know. But this is gonna help you get into the what was I saying about slow and steady earlier? Not the rotation. Come on, buddy. Um, Goodness. I forgot what the word was. Either way, you know, it's about that, you know, that rotation, right? Once you start, you know, that's when the rotation begins, right? It doesn't begin up here. It begins when movement starts, right? Just move. And this is where we have movement, my friends. Yes, we do. And we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, this is your opening. This is your clarity on, you know, what comes in, right? Yeah, this is your burst of joy for your emotions, because this is going to be good for you, your health, right? It's going to be good for you. Okay, we have Judgment, all right? That little light gonna be shining, okay? And we have the Hangman as well, okay? We have a change of perspective, so, you know, this joyous, you know, grateful energy that you'll be receiving will open your eyes to something that you may not have had your eyes open to before, okay? Yeah. It will allow you to see better, right? Your sight will be clearer, okay? Yeah, we have the Seven of Cups, okay? And we have the Star at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. And this presents itself here. You have options, right? these come in because there's this process of understanding yourself, another side of healing, right? Um, Mending certain areas within the flaws that we face. You know, it's a beautiful thing, and then we are allowed things to come in, right? Things to come in. Can I go, you know, can I do this or go over here? Or, you know, this is where the transition comes in, and, you know, you're able to move along your path with clarity and, you know, understanding towards what happens next, right? Um, each experience has its own set of tools, and the set of tools that you decide to take along with you to the next town, which is your next experience, depends on you. But those tools have a purpose, and whether you pick them up or someone else does, they will be used, right? Anyways, guys, that's all that I have for you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. I would really like to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys have been with the gang, I love you guys so much. Monistique, and I'll catch you guys next time.